on this video. Hope you're having an awesome day. Thanks for taking some time every day to hang out with me. Today's video, we are reviewing the Wet n Wild and Sanrio collection. We have both the Kuromi and My Melody eyeshadow palettes. I picked up the face palette and the two liquid lipsticks. I honestly have no idea why I hesitated so hard to check out on Ulta's website with the whole bundle, and then by the time I made up my mind, it was sold out. Luckily, the items came back individually on Ulta's website, and that way I got to just pick out which items I truly wanted. So I'm gonna show you guys some swatches and create a look using the items. I'll link my makeup reviews playlist to watch previous reviews, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and give this video a like. Let's swatch and create a look. Alright guys, I only have foundation and my brows filled in, and the next step in my routine is to create an eye look. I am a huge Sanrio fan. I have so many Hello Kitty collectibles. I have some authentic items that my aunt used to get me when she traveled to Japan. We had a Sanrio store in the mall when I was growing up. I also had a handful of Kuromi items as well. She's just kind of like the more punk Hello Kitty, as I called her as a kid. And then My Melody, which I really don't have any pieces from. I don't know, I really wasn't into pink when I was younger. I was definitely more on the grungier side, still to this day. This is what the Kuromi eyeshadow palette looks like. First row. Second row. I'm only 2 rows in, but these shadows are super soft, so creamy and buttery, and there is pigment all the way through. The mattes seem a little bit more faded than the shimmers, while they have a more pop to them. So I hope that the mattes are going to be buildable when you start blending out on the eyes. Third row. These shadows are so soft that I am kind of scared of putting a lot of pressure into the pans in fear of that the shadows are gonna crumble. Last row. And this is the entire palette swatched. Holy crap, matte black. I was not ready for that. I kind of expected it to be a little bit patchy on the swatch, but no, entire pigment all the way through. I'm a little scared how that is gonna blend out. I do enjoy a rich matte black in my palettes, and I definitely think this Kuromi palette needed it. It's gonna work out really nice with a lot of these other grungy shades. I kind of wish there was a grungy green color in it. It has nothing to do with Kuromi, but that's kind of like the vibe that I get looking at this palette because it is heavily grunged. We all know how much I love orange, but I think orange would have also done well, but they did a really good job keeping with the theme of Kuromi, so I do appreciate that. And I don't think that this shade is quite needed. I guess I threw in something in case if you did want to set the base or even clean up some looks if you get a little too smoky to help diffuse a little bit of the harshness. These are some of the softest shadows I have ever felt before. I'm kind of nervous how I'm going to dip in some of my crease brushes if a lot of kick up is going to happen. But I did notice a little bit of chunkiness that came up with some of the shades. We'll cross that bridge when we create a look on the eyes. I am pretty pleased with how everything looks. I just hope it translates well on the eyes. This is what the My Melody palette looks like. And I just noticed on the back, we do have names of the shadows. I didn't realize that swatching Kuromi. I'm glad that there are names to this palette, but I kind of wish that they were underneath each shade. That's just a preference I have. Plus it makes it easier calling out the names that way. Top row. This palette is also super soft, just like Kuromi is. Second row. Third row. Bottom row. And this is the entire palette swatched. I think out of both palettes, if I could only choose one, I would probably go with Kuromi. It had more of a unique color story. I don't have that many grungy palettes like it. I have my fair share of pinks and purples. That doesn't take anything away from this. I really liked how we had like a pop of purple, some pinks, and some nude shades to it. So you can go very neutral, and you can also add some pops of color to your liking. Whereas Kuromi is a lot cooler. You can do more smoky looks and then add some pops of color too. Before we dive into the look, I'm just gonna prime my eyes with my Urban Decay Potion Primer. I'm going to start off using the My Melody palette to create a look on my right eye, your left eye, and I'm thinking of taking this pink matte right here just to get everything going on the crease. There is a lot of kick up in the pan. So it's very light when you apply it. So it's going to be a shade we're going to definitely build up to our liking, which I like because sometimes I don't always want bam pigment right away. I just don't like how much is being kicked up in the pan. These pans are really small as it is. I just don't want to waste just one pan on one look trying to build up. Luckily, we're only using one palette on each eye to help conserve, but I'm like, dang, that's a lot of kick up. It's like ABH kick up. Next, we're gonna take the magenta shade and next to it to deepen. Look how much is kicked up when I just dip my brush lightly, like it's falling with style. And I'm gonna focus this shade more on where the lid and the crease meet, just to deepen it a little bit. A little bit of purple residue from my brush is showing up a little bit on the lid, so excuse that. I'm improvising as I'm in the rotation of cleaning my brushes, so I guess the color switch kind of failed me right there, not getting all of the purple, but I don't think it's going to really affect this look at all. Now that we have the crease established, I think I'm gonna take this purple shade right here, and we're gonna focus on trying a halo look. So this shade is gonna go on the outer and inner portions. The shimmer definitely has to be built up a little bit more. Luckily, there's not that much kick up when you dip in, but I'm almost wondering, would it work a little bit better wetted or applied with my finger? Looks a little bit better on the inner portion than it does on the outer. And then just cleaning off that brush really quick, I'm gonna take this shade right here for the center of the halo. This shimmer is applying a little bit more like a topper. It is a little chunkier. It's having like a little bit of trouble adhering to my lid, closer to where my lashes are. I wonder if taking a finger lightly, if that will help blend out that area. It's also not as pink on my lid as it appears in the pan. It looks a little bit more white. And then I'm just gonna go back in with my other finger with the purple, see if that helps a little bit more. Help blend those two shades together. I think the finger, literally, is gonna be the way to go for these shimmers. Before we move on, I do want to just try it again on the brush and then wetting it. I think it's trying to pop a little bit more when it's wet. One thing's for sure, it definitely wants to crumble on the lid. Gonna add some eyeliner to my lid and waterline. I have the Eye Contour liquid liner for my lid, and then I have the Tarte Easy on the eyes for my bottom waterline. And then I'm going to take my Flaunt Beauty lashes. These are in the style Abundance. I'm going to take my Fenty mascara to blend in my lashes with the falsies. And I'm going to take the Tarte Easy on the Eyes eyeliner once again for my upper waterline. For the lower lash line, I wish there was a purple matte. I think purple on the lower lash line would have really complemented this more of a pink look on top. So I'm thinking of just taking the shimmer and going as best as I can with it. And then I think I am going to take this shade right here for the inner corners. I did kind of jump ahead of myself in this look, going on ahead and putting on lashes. So that's why I'm struggling a little bit. So this is the Halo Eye with the My Melody palette. I think it's an A+ for cuteness. I wish that this shimmer was a little bit more popping. It looks really pretty in the pan, and then you really have to build it up. This shade was a complete disappointment. It does not look as beaming or as much of the color like in the middle portion of the halo look, but I think that the pinks blended out quite nice for mattes. I think what this palette really needs is a matte purple. I know that's something we can get in Kuromi to pair the two together, but I think the purple in Kuromi might be a little too rich for what we're going for, a little bit more warm of this palette than in Kuromi, which is a lot more cooler. But I really liked how this shimmer right here is really popping in the inner corner. It didn't disappoint. I did not even wet it, so I think that shimmer did a really nice job performing. This eye right here is looking a little naked compared to this one, so let's give Kuromi a shot. I'm going to be cleaning off those brushes that we used for the My Melody palette. I spoke too soon about this palette having the purple matte that I need in My Melody, because the purple I was looking at was either this one or this, and lo and behold, they are more on the shimmer side. I think I'm going to start off with this purple shade, and there's not that much kick up compared to the mattes that were in My Melody. This matte seems to have a little bit more pigment to it when you dip in and then go in. This shade I am noticing is a little bit patchy, especially on the outer portions. It's okay. Let's get another shade going. I wish that this shade was a matte and not a shimmer, but I'm gonna work it as if it was a matte where the crease and lid meet, just to give it a little bit more dimension before we go in with the halo. Perhaps dipping into another purple palette like Lilac You a Lot, It's My Pleasure by ColourPop, or my Morphe 39S palette. Those might have some shades to help diffuse some of this patchiness. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to work as best as I can. Maybe try that off camera. So I'm thinking of taking this shade right here for the outer and inner portions of the lid. This shade is super pretty. It reminds me of the shade in Bloodlust, but Bloodlust turned out being more of a matte black, whereas you can actually see some of the sparkles here. It has a crap ton of fallout, so having your foundation on like I already do, it's gonna suck. And then next I'm gonna try this shade right here for the inner portion of the halo. Luckily, this shade is working out a lot better than its more pink counterpart in My Melody. And then very lightly gonna go back into the shade that we took our inner and outer color for the halo on, just to make sure that both shades are blended in nicely together. Taking the same eyeliners again for this eye. And then I think I'm gonna take this purple shimmer to smoke out the lower lash. I'm gonna do it before I put on lashes this time. And then just to make this look a little bit more dramatic, I'm gonna take this yellow for the inner corner. Oh, I'm actually living for the yellow in the inner corner. I think it definitely stepped up a notch in that look. Now we're gonna add lashes, mascara, and put eyeliner on the upper waterline using the same product used on this eye. Overall, between these two palettes, I think I would go with the Kuromi one a little bit more. I like the more diverse shades that I have in this color story. I just think that the Kuromi palette has a little bit more to offer, just some single purples or some other purples and some other palettes to help pair with it to achieve other looks. But I think if you want more neutral colors, or if you like those warmer pink shades, or a combination of both, this palette is going to be a better fit. Quickly gonna take some of my NYX bronzer to bronze, and then we're gonna do some swatches and put on these blush and highlighting shades. And this is what the face palette looks like swatched. The blushes are super pigmented, which is great because I love to go blush crazy. So I definitely need to go in a little bit light-handed. I really like this lilac highlighter, and then of course rose gold. Some of my favorite highlighting shades are rose gold. So I'm really excited to try these shades on the cheeks. I'm assuming these top shades are gonna be my melodies. So I'm just gonna lightly tap, and oh yeah, it is super pigmented on the cheeks. Oh, but it is a gorgeous shade that I have to go in for a second dip, which probably gonna be almost too much blush, but let's be real, I just love blush. So the more blush, the better. And this is only 2 dips in, and my cheeks are completely covered in blush. And then we're gonna try this highlighter right here. See how it complements. Oh, it's pretty. Oh, it's gorgeous. It builds up pretty nice. Still not as like dramatic as an Ofra highlighter, but pretty darn close. Not bad. Other cheek, let's go. This is a beautiful plummy blush. This side of the face just screams I'm in high school again. I really loved the rich plum and mauve blushes back in the day. The more purple the blush was, like the more I was in love with it. And I think that this shade looks really nice. I even think I like it more than this pink shade. And I had a blast building this one up being super dramatic, but this plum one, it's treating me so nice. Like this face palette, to me is worth it just for that one shade. I said what I said. And the counterpart highlight. Oh, this is a gorgeous shade on the, oh my gosh. I am absolutely obsessed. Oh, so pretty. So good. And lastly, we have the liquid lipsticks. I got both My Melody and Kuromi right here, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Kuromi. Even though this pink has a rich blue undertone to it, and I love my hot pinks with a blue undertone. Oh my gosh, that's swatched absolutely gorgeous. I'm torn. Unless if Kuromi's swatch just completely tanks, oh, don't let me down. It is gorgeous purple. Oh my gosh. Both shades are absolutely stunning. but I think I have to go with Kuromi. Oh, I'm a scene kid again. Can we just talk about and appreciate for like 5 seconds right now how perfect this purple liquid lipstick is? I am living for it. This is going to be like my go-to shade for when fall rolls around. Yes! And then I'm going to use the last few pumps of this mini Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day setting spray. I'm obsessed with this blush and highlighting palette. If there's anything from this collection I think you should get, definitely the face palette and the 2 liquid lipsticks. What I really like about this face palette, you can go very neutral or you can be dramatic like me. Hi! But this highlight, oh my gosh, I am obsessed with that shade. I don't have that many shades in my collection, so this shade is going to get so much use. Whereas I have so many rose, gold, and gold highlighters, like Rodeo Drive is my go-to, and then the one in my Tarte Tartiste Pro Glow palette as well. But it does not take anything away from this because this is a drugstore brand, and I think that the face palette might have been $15. Holy crap, both of them are up my alley. I am obsessed with this purple shade on my lips. It is definitely going to be a stunning color in the fall. I love, love, love a nice rich purple lip, and this brings everything and more. Like, I cannot stop looking at it in my mirror. And then the hot pink is absolutely stunning with that blue undertone. It is going to be bam in your face, so dramatic. I liked how it dried down. It's super opaque, and that's something that I was a little worried about, thinking it might be patchy on the lips. I did have to dip in to the product again to fully cover up my bottom lip, but other than that, the top lip is completely one swipe and then like 1.5 on the bottom. The matte formula is pretty comfortable. Like, my lips don't feel dried out. There is a little bit of transfer, not that much, so I'm very impressed. It's mainly like in the center of my lips where it's transferring, but the overall lip did not have any transfer. I would love to know if you guys picked up anything from this collection. Did you guys get the bundle, or did you pick out individual items like I did? Did you pick up the Kuromi or My Melody pieces from this collection? How did everything work out for you? Did you have to pair your eyeshadow palettes with another palette? I would love to know your experience of this collection in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and if you don't, I appreciate your view anyways, and I'll see you in the next video.